You know, it's strange how often we hear in Western media that Muslims are terrorists. It's a stereotype that's been pushed for years, but when you actually look at the facts, the story changes completely. First, the media plays a huge role in shaping this image. In the United States, for example, attacks by Muslims get over 3 times more coverage than similar attacks by non-Muslims. In Canada, violence by Muslim attackers is 23 times more likely to be labeled as terrorism than when a non-Muslim commits it, even though non-Muslim violence kills more people. This constant overexposure makes it feel like Muslims are the main source of violence, even when that's far from the truth. The reality is, in the US, most terrorist attacks in recent years have come from far-right extremist groups, not Muslim extremists. Between 2008 and 2016, far-right extremists committed nearly twice as many attacks as radical Islamist extremists. A U.S. government report in 2017 showed that 73% of deadly extremist incidents since 9/11 were carried out by right-wing extremists and only 27% by radical Islamist extremists. The death toll between the two was similar, but the numbers show clearly that Muslims are not the main perpetrators. Now, if we look globally, the biggest victims of terrorism are actually Muslims themselves. Most terror attacks happen in Muslim-majority countries, and the people suffering and dying are often ordinary Muslim men, women, and children, not Westerners. Groups like ISIS have killed far more Muslims than people from other religions. This is a fact that often gets ignored in the Western narrative. And here's another important point. The vast majority of Muslims reject terrorism completely. Surveys from countries like Iraq, Indonesia, Azerbaijan, and even the UK show that over 90% of Muslims strongly oppose violence against civilians. This is consistent in Muslim communities across North America, Europe, and Asia. So, why does this stereotype stick around? Because it's easy for some politicians and media outlets to use Muslims as a scapegoat. Fear sells news, and having a visible enemy helps push certain political agendas. Movies and TV shows often repeat the same image of Muslims as the villains, and that reinforces the bias in people's minds. But the truth is clear. Most Muslims are peaceful and law-abiding. Muslims are often the victims of terrorism, not the main cause. In Western countries, far-right extremists are responsible for more attacks than Muslim extremists. This stereotype doesn't just distort reality, it fuels discrimination and Islamophobia. And when people believe it without questioning, it hurts millions of innocent people who just want to live in peace like everyone else.